said something like, girl, you gotta be out your rabbit ass mind. And she was like, what did you say? So I was like, I said, you gotta be out your rabbit ass mind to think about whatever. And she was like, why did you say that? She's like, you know that Bob said that to me one time? And I'm like, what do you mean Bob said that to you? And she's like, I don't know, but I can show it to you. She was like, because he said it to me in text. And I was like, so can I tell y'all that this girl literally sent me a text, right, of Bob saying to her like, oh, you out your raggedy ass mind, basically talking like me. And right there I was like, what? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Miko. If you've been here before, welcome back. If you are new here, I hope that you have subscribed, and be sure to hit that notification bell to be sure when I drop. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that you guys have seen the title. Well, this video is about my 13-year toxic relationship. If this is your first time here, and this is your first time watching this video, your best bet is to go and watch the previous videos that I have put out before, just so you can catch up with the storyline. Okay, so now let's jump into the video. In my last video, I left off at the part where I was telling you guys that Bob did the unthinkable. Okay, the unthinkable. So let me take y'all back. Bob and I have daughters, right? I have a daughter, Bob has a daughter. So at the time, I needed to get my daughter's hair braided, and I was transitioning from one hair braider to another. So Bob had introduced me to this girl. He told me braids hair and that she was really good. So I was like, okay, whatever, let's try her out, whatever. So she ended up working at a shop. Ooh, I feel like my lash is bothering me. I don't know why, but it is. I haven't been wearing makeup in a couple of days, y'all, because I've been so sick. If y'all hear, y'all can hear me sniffling and stuff. Like, I've been really sick. My son got me sick, so yeah. But anyway, so the girl had been working at a shop in the Bronx, like on the Grand Concourse. So I met the girl, and everything was cool. Shortly after, she started braiding my daughter's hair. So she was braiding my daughter's hair, and then a little while after, his daughter started to come and get her hair braided by this very same hair braider. Okay, we're gonna have to look for a name for this hair braider, because we can't just keep calling her hair braider. We're gonna say that her name is Camille. That's what we're gonna say. Her name is Camille, right? So they're going to this hair braider and everything is fine. And when I tell y'all, we have been using this girl for like, I want to say a year, 2 years. We have been using this girl and everything was cool. So yeah, like the hair braider, Camille, would always leave comments on my Instagram. Like, she would always comment on my pictures. She would always ask me for like advice. Yeah, there was one time when COVID was around, right? During the time Bob and I were together, I wanted to do YouTube like what I'm doing now. So I had ended up buying like a camera, and I was using my camera to take pictures, like to test it out or whatever. And being at the fact that it was COVID, I was like, what better way to test it out than to be now? Like, I can take pictures, see how the pictures come out, see the clarity of them, post them on Instagram and whatever. So apparently one day while I was at work, the same hair braider, Camille, had contacted Bob and asked Bob about like my camera or like my pictures. Like, I don't know. I don't even know why they were even speaking at this point, like beyond the point of our children getting their hair done. Like, I don't know why they were even contacting each other, which was kind of weird to me. But I didn't really think nothing of it, because I'm like, again, I'm thinking she's the fucking hair braider. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are you gonna think? I'm like, okay, this girl braids my daughter's hair, because at this point I was really taking in Bob's daughter as my daughter as well. You know, she was my daughter. So I'm like, yeah, like, she braids my daughter's hair, like whatever. So yeah, she hits me up on Instagram and she's like, hey girl, or whatever. And she was basically just asking me like about my camera and like my pictures or whatever. So I had explained to her that I had bought the camera off of Amazon, and I'm not sure if I had told her the camera, or I had sent her the camera, but nonetheless I just felt like it was very weird.
Y'all probably won't never see me with like a group of females because females be fake as fuck. Like,
she would even know that I have a camera, because again, like, Camille is not someone that takes pictures. She's not like a creative person in my eyes, you know? So, and I mean creative in a way of like modeling and like being like an influencer or whatever. Like, I don't know, like, so it was just weird to me that she was asking me about a camera, but whatever, maybe she needed a camera for her business, you know, like to take pictures of her hair clients or whatever, who knows. So I don't remember if I actually told her where to get the camera or I gave her the link. I'm not really sure, I don't remember. But yeah, so shortly after that, yeah, like I would be on live on Instagram. She would jump on live. Like me and Bob would be on Instagram together, on like Instagram live, and then she would come on, and I noticed that one time she was real motherfucking flirty, like, you know, and in my eyes, I ain't never flirt with this girl. Like, not one time. I ain't never flirt with her. I don't know what would make her feel comfortable enough to flirt, but she was like, yeah, girl, you look so good, and da 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 da. She was giving me like all these compliments, and I was just saying to myself, like, where is this coming from? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I looked at Bob and I was like, oh, your girl is weird or whatever. Like, why is she flirting with me? Bob was acting like he had no clue why this girl was being this flirty. Like, it really just blew my mind, because I was like, what would make this girl want to flirt with me? Like, I never gave her any type of like increment that I was like, thought she was cute or anything like that. Like, I don't know. I didn't know where this behavior was coming from. Like, it was just a shock to me. Okay, so now I told y'all, like, it's COVID or whatever. We found out that we pregnant, and I'm pregnant at this time, right? So like a couple months had went by and my daughter wasn't getting her hair done because she wanted to try different styles. You know, she's getting older or whatever, so she wanted to do like weaves and stuff like that. So I don't remember like if I needed to get my hair done or my daughter's hair done, because I think I had like a paid promotion, like where like a company had gave me like a wig and they wanted me to like promo for them. And the wig, I think it was for me. Honestly, I think it was for me. I don't think it was for my daughter, but we'll see. As we get into the story, like I can kind of gauge like who it was for. So anyway, yeah, I think I had like a promotion, and I remember the wig was like yellow. It was a very bright color, and I was like, dag, I don't do these bright colors. Like, the only thing I could see me doing is like a wig that's like braided or whatever, like long braids, whatever, in yellow, because yellow is a very bright color, like, and it's not like my aesthetic. It's not really my vibe for me to do like a color like yellow. I do colors, but I do like maybe like a blue or like a pink, a purple, but not yellow. Yellow is just very, 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 very crazy, right? So I was like, all right, I don't like the color of the wig, but I can just get it braided and make it look real cute or whatever. Like, I feel like I could wear any color. So anyway, I'm hitting up this braider, right? And she's not answering. So I found that to be very strange. Like, why is she not answering? Because she would answer any other time. I had been hitting her up for like a couple weeks and she just was not answering. So I was like, what the hell is going on with this hair braider? Because it's weird that she wouldn't answer me or whatever. I was calling her, I was texting her, I DM'd her, and she really was not answering. Like, I'm like, wait, is this bitch ignoring me? Like, what is going on? Because Bob had introduced me to her, I felt that it was only right to ask Bob, like, well, what's up with your girl? Like, because I've been calling her, I've been texting her, and she not answering. So strangely, he was like, oh, I don't know, like, you know. But I felt like in that moment, like something was weird, but I couldn't really put my foot on it, because I'm like, he doesn't have to know where she's at. It's not like they hang out or anything like that, to my knowledge, you know what I mean? Like, so I was just like, I'm asking him just because he knows her. You introduced me to this woman, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, maybe he knows something, or maybe he could contact her and get in contact with her or whatever. So when I said to him, like, yeah, I've been texting her, I've been hitting her up, I DM'd her, whatever, she's not answering or whatever. So he like, yeah, I don't know. I was like lost, because I was saying like all of a sudden this woman just dropped off the face of this earth and I don't know where the hell she at. Like, not taking my calls, she's not answering my texts, she's not responding to the DMs. So I'm like, what the hell? So anyway, the braider, Camille, had another girl that was there working with her at her house, because she worked inside her house. So like when my daughters and them used to go get their hair done, they used to actually go to her house. They was not going to a salon, right? So sometimes I would bring my daughter there, and sometimes my daughter father would go pick her up from there, or sometimes he may drop her off and he may pick her up. Like, it was always like something, or maybe Bob would drop both of them off and then like pick them up and whatever. So, you know, there was always like alternate situations with like between the three parents or whatever. Yeah, so I contacted the girl that had been working with her, and basically the girl that had been working with her was basically saying she don't work with her no more, and that she works by herself. I was like, okay. I was like, and I think I was either like, can you braid my daughter's hair, or can you do my daughter's hair? Honestly, I think I was going to do my daughter's hair. I think if I remember, if I could recall, I think I did contact her to do my daughter's hair, because I remember I had called, yeah, she wasn't responding, right? Camille wasn't responding. So then I had called the other girl, and then I remember there was like a beef between them. This is like, I'm starting to remember now. When I tell y'all, this has been a while, okay? It's been a while. That was like a good like 4 years ago. So I don't really remember, especially because it don't really have nothing to do with me. Like, certain things I kind of forget. So anyway, I remember being on my phone and seeing both of them go back and forth. But you know me, I'm just a customer. Like, I'm minding my business. Like, I only met the other braider because I was going to this girl. So I was just staying out of it. But I saw that it was like a little back and forth between them. Like, there was a lot of subs going on. Like, they was writing stuff in each other's like, on each other's stories about each other. The other girl was airing out the Camille girl like real bad, like real bad. So I was just like, damn, like that's crazy. So now I'm like calling this girl, texting this girl, DMing this girl, she not answering. So now I'm like, all right, fuck it, I'ma just go to the other girl, because I don't have time for this. Like, it's not like you doing me a favor, girl. Like, I be paying my money, and if you don't want to do my daughter's hair, then cool. Like, I'll find somebody else that will take my money. You understand? So I hit up the girl, and she was like, yeah, girl, I could do it, whatever. And I remember going to her shop, because she was now working in the shop. So I remember going to her shop, and she basically was like telling me the drama between her and the girl. So I was just like, oh, like, wow, that's crazy, right? So now fast forward now, I hit up the girl again. Now this is when I got the promo for this is when I'm doing the promo for the wig for this hair company. So now I needed the braids. Now I'm pregnant, right? Because at that time I wasn't pregnant when I had came with my daughter. So now I'm pregnant. So I go there, and I was just like telling her like, oh my God, like, so first of all, she hadn't seen me in a while. So when she seen me, and I think I had dropped my daughter off, and oh, you know what, I was pregnant. I just didn't mention it to her. When I brought my daughter, I was pregnant. So she was asking my daughter like, is your mom pregnant? And my daughter was like, I don't know, because you know my daughter know better. She do not be telling her mommy business. So she was just like, I don't know. So now finally I go back to get my hair done, and basically she like, oh my God, you pregnant, da, 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 da. So whatever. So we talked about that. She was like, congratulations, whatever. And I was like, thank you, girl. And that was that. So then I proceeded to tell her like, oh my God, like, I cannot believe this girl. Like, what would be the reason that she wouldn't pick up my phone call or whatever? So the girl was like, trust me, you don't want her doing your daughter's hair anyway. Now I'm sitting in a chair like this. So imagine you sitting in a chair like this, and somebody's behind you, they doing your hair, and they make a statement like that. And I'm like, what? I'm like, what do you mean? So, but it's a mirror in front of me. So I like sat up, and I'm like, well, what do you mean? And she's like, oh, I don't want to tell you whatever, because I feel like if I tell you, it's going to be like a big thing, da 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 da. So I'm like, no, you have to tell me, because now you already said it. You already set the tone for whatever it is that you're speaking on. So now you have to say what it is. Child, this girl done told me that Camille the hair braider, is sleeping with my baby father, or she was sleeping around with him. So now I'm like, what? So she's like, yeah, girl. She was like, and that's why, like, she was like, when you used to come, I used to be very quiet. She was like, because there would be times when I would be there and I would see your baby father there, but the kids ain't there. Like, Denim not there, his daughter not there. So I'm like, what are you doing here? Like, you know, she was like, in my mind, I'm saying, what is he doing here? Like, and why is you sleeping around with this girl's man, and then you be trying to act like you cool with this girl? Like when I tell y'all, right, I used to be at this girl's house and everything. Like, when my daughter get her hair done, I would be in there. We would chit chat, everything. There was even one time it was me, her, and Bob. And they were even talking, and then they was talking about something like in her room or whatever. And I think I was outside in the living room with the kids and the other hair braider, and then they had called me into the room. So when they called me into the room, they was just talking about her, and she wanted to be like a singer or something, and then she started singing, and then I was just like, girl, you're okay, you're cool, whatever. So I don't know what was their purpose in calling me in the room to ask me that. Like, I'm not no fucking A&R. Like, I don't know why they even brought me in the room to say that. But like, I guess like because they knew that they had been dealing with each other and they didn't want me to think nothing, they just called me in the room just to include me, to make it seem like it ain't nothing going on. You know what I'm saying? And that was it. Yeah, so child, the girl started telling me like a bunch of stuff, like how the girl used to talk about me, like, oh yeah, I don't like the fact that her pictures be looking like this and she be looking like this and her hair be like this and she not even all that and da 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 da. But it's like, I'm not even all of that, but you in my DM, you asking me what camera I use to take my pictures. Like, you asking a whole lot of questions for a person that you don't really like that. Like, it was just crazy to me. So, but I knew where this was stemming from. Whatever energy that girl had, for one, she had low self-esteem. That's one. Because again, you have a lot of nerve to be sleeping around with your client's man. And I'm not the only one she did that to. Like, there was another girl, another woman that used to get her hair braided with her too, also, that like they was trying to beat her ass because she was sleeping around with a man, like with their husbands and stuff. Like, this girl was just straight up trifling. When I tell you low vibrational, just a ghetto little hood rat. She had like 3 kids, 3 different baby daddies, like sleeping around with everybody man. Like, she was just low vibrational. But this is the type of women that Bob likes. Like, this is the type of women that he likes. So anyway, go back home or whatever, and I'm talking to Bob about the situation. Like, why is it that I'm hearing that you was sleeping with Camille? And he's like, oh, the first thing he did was blame the other girl. Like, oh, I'ma slap her, I'ma do this, I'ma do that. And I'm like, but my thing is, this is the bigger picture. The bigger picture is this. That girl wouldn't know anything that's going on between you and Camille if Camille didn't tell her, right? So obviously, if there's anybody that you need to slap, you need to slap Camille. And when I tell y'all, I was on the bandwagon for him slapping Camille, because I don't condone men putting their hands on women. But if you're going to put your hand on somebody, you need to put your hands on her, because she's the one that told your business. So if it's a lie, then you need to go to her. Why are you going to the person that's just repeating what she heard? Or she's just repeating what she's been told? Like, I would never go to the person that is just repeating something that somebody else told them. I'm going to go straight to the source. So the source was Camille. So I couldn't understand why he was throwing like a whole entire fit. When I tell you he was throwing a whole entire fit, he threatened the girl, everything. The girl had to get her father involved. Yeah, she had to do all sorts of things. And then I guess like her dad was connected to like some street dudes, and they must have contacted Bob and told Bob like, oh, you know, you can't touch that girl, you can't do nothing to her, you know, I'm cool with her pops and da 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 da. So he ain't do nothing. But I don't even think he was going to do nothing anyway, because it didn't make sense to me. It was just so childish. But instead of him taking accountability and just saying like, yeah, I was dealing with Camille, he chose to blame on somebody else. Like, classic narc. This is what Bob would do all the time, like blame his shortcomings on other people instead of taking accountability for himself. That went on for like a little while. He was mad about that. So then the girl, I don't remember if I called the girl or she called me. I think she called me. She called me because Bob must have informed her that the girl told me. So now she like, oh, you know, I guess she feels some type of way like, oh, the girl only told her because me and her ain't talking no more and we beefing and this and this and that. I'm like, yeah, obviously, like, she doesn't have any loyalty to you. Like, you understand what I'm saying? And she was there for the majority of like whatever she saw. She was there because she said she saw Bob with her own eyes. And then she was like, when you came, she was like, were you with Denim? Were you with your daughter? You were not. So I mean, what else would you be doing there? You have no business being there if none of your daughters are here to get their hair done. Like, I mean, it's obvious. She was like, plus, Camille told me that y'all was sleeping together. So, I mean, at this point, it's like, I mean, what are you really going to say to that? Like, the only thing you have left to do is to own up to these accusations. So, he's mad as hell. He's going off. And keep in mind, y'all, I'm pregnant. So now this little bed bug, Camille, she calls my phone and she's like trying to be cool. I want to say so bad, oh, is you cool? Hey girl, I just wanted to let you know what's going on. That girl is lying. She's just saying that because we're not cool anymore and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, but I don't have anything to do with that. So why would she just be lying to me? Why would she just tell me that just to involve me in a beef between you and her when if she wanted to do that, she could have contacted me. She waited to tell me after the fact. It was like after like I had told her that the girl wasn't answering any of my calls or any of the text messages or the DM. And then that's when she said, you know, I feel like you don't need to be bringing your daughter there anyway. And then that's when I was like, huh? You know? So yeah, so she's going in and she's like, yeah, that girl's lying, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I cursed the bitch out, honestly, because you could get on my phone and you could tell me the okie doke all you want. And you could be like, oh yeah, she's lying. Oh, you gonna believe her over me? You damn motherfucking right, I'm gonna believe her over you. Because at the end of the day, like I said, I don't feel like the girl was being messy. I feel like the girl knew she was raggedy. The girl knew she was just downright a whore and just sleeping around with her clients' mans. Like, not only me, like I said, like different women, she was sleeping around with their men. So at the end of the day, like, she don't have to keep loyalty to you. She no longer works with you. Like, she can do what she want. And she felt the need to tell me, like, yeah. And I'm glad that she did, because I would not want somebody that's in my child's hair and you sleeping around with my man. Like, are you kidding me? Like, that's grounds for me to, like, bitch, get you, like, you know what? I'm not even going to incriminate myself like that. I'm not even going to incriminate myself like that. But at the end of the day, y'all get my drift. Like, this is how some people, like, be, like, pushed off, like, pushed to the edge. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's like, you playing a dangerous game. And I think that's the reason why she wasn't answering my calls or my texts, because her and the girl was no longer cool no more. So now it was like she didn't know what I knew. She didn't want me to be up in her house because she didn't know if I'd be faking it and just calling her like, hey girl, can you do my daughter's hair? And then pop up, pull up and beat her ass. Because what she did was unacceptable. Like, that shit was crazy. I'm like, yeah, you little nasty little bitch. Like, you have a lot of nerve, ma'am. Like, when I tell you, y'all, I was livid. I was livid. Keep in mind, I'm pregnant at this time. So y'all could just imagine how my emotions was like through the roof. Because I couldn't do nothing. Like, and when I tell y'all, when I cursed her out to filth, like, I read her and I was like, oh, you nasty little whore. You knew you was sleeping around with my man and you doing my daughter's hair. And, like, think about it. What person in their right mind would want this person in their daughter's head? This is how despicable and just downright low. Like, Bob is a different type of animal, because at the end of the day, you would allow a woman that you're sleeping with to do my daughter's hair. You really had the nerve to sleep around with a chick that you knew was doing my daughter's hair and your daughter's hair. Like, if that's not the ultimate betrayal, can nobody in their right mind tell me that what he did wasn't dead ass wrong? Like, that was wrong, especially because this person's in my daughter's head. Like, you could sleep around with 1,000,001 women out there. You chose to sleep with the one that does my daughter's hair. Like, are you crazy? And if you knew you was already sleeping with her, why'd you introduce me to her? She didn't need to do my daughter's hair. I could have found somebody else to do my daughter's hair. There's tons of hair braiders. Tons. Why did you choose to sleep with this person knowing that this person was doing my kid's hair? Like, I would never put his kid in harm's way like that. Never. Never. But these are the type of things that Bob would do. And then he go around, when he go to his new supply, he tell them, oh, I'm this and I'm that and I did this to him and I did that to him, playing the victim. But I could, baby, when I tell you, I can go down the list of countless things that Bob has done that is just like it's unheard of to me. Like, I know that there are people out here and there's people out here that are capable of certain things, but baby, to me, this was like, wow. So now, like, at this point, I'm starting to put my glasses on. Because I'm like, wait a minute, like. So then another thing that the girl had told me was that we talked about the camera. So she told me about what was going on with the camera, because remember I had told y'all that Camille had called me and was asking me questions about, like, I don't know, I don't really remember. I don't know if she asked me about the camera or she asked me about like my pictures or something like that. And at that time during COVID, Bob had took my pictures. But baby, Bob could try and take your pictures. It's definitely not gonna look like mine. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm a model. Like, I've been a model for years. Like, this is my profession. This is what I do. I mean, I could take pictures with any type of camera and it's gonna look fire. I don't know if you do that, it's gonna say the same thing. Like, I don't know. But I was wondering why she was asking me that. So then the girl proceeded to tell me that, like, how Bob was basically talking bad about me. And he basically was saying like, oh, I don't do nothing. I don't pay for nothing. Everything that I have, he bought, and blah, 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 blah. So I was like, that's not true. I'm like, because Bob didn't even buy my camera. And she was like, oh yeah, that's another thing. Like, he told Camille that he bought your camera. And I'm like, no, baby girl, it's no way that he bought that camera. Because I was like, if he bought that camera, when Camille asked him about the camera, I was like, why didn't he tell her where it was from if he bought it, if he knew? And she was like, oh, that's so true. She was like, yeah, because I remember she did call him and ask him something pertaining to like you and your pictures or something. And he was like, oh, I don't know. And he told her to ask you. I said, exactly, because he doesn't know where I got that camera from, because I got the camera from Amazon. I said, now, he did buy me a camera, which I will say Bob did buy me a camera. Bob bought me a camera for when did he buy me a camera? I think it was like for Christmas, when it was 2019. When Christmas came, Bob had bought me a camera, but the camera that Bob bought me was not a camera that was conducive for me. That camera was only good for pictures. I needed a camera that was good for pictures and for video, because I was planning on doing YouTube. So my main focus was the videos, not the camera, because I could easily just take some pictures with my iPhone. Like, it's not that serious. You know what I'm saying? For me, like, I know what I'm doing. Like, I know how to photograph. I know how to take pictures. I know how to create a mood board for what type of tone I want to set with my pictures. I'm basically like a creative director. Like, so I don't really need like high-tech quality. Like, high-tech quality gadgets is just a plus. But I can work with what I have. Like, you understand? So I needed a camera that was good on videography. That's what I needed. So this same camera here that I'm talking to y'all on was the camera that I purchased from Amazon. So now I remember Camille calls me and she's asking me like, where did you get the camera from? I told her Amazon. And again, like I said, I don't recall if I told her like the brand or whatever it was. I'm pretty sure I probably did, because I'm not a gatekeeper. Like, I don't gatekeep. I'm never a hater. Because what you do is not gonna stop me from what I'm doing. So I don't really care. So I'm pretty sure I probably told her what camera it was, and that was it. So yeah, so fast forward, she calls my phone and she's like, yeah, I cursed her ass out real bad. She basically was like, oh, I'm so shocked that you would believe her over me and da-da-da. I'm like, yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. I believe her. Like, it's no reason. She's not being messy, because if she wanted to be messy immediately, when y'all stopped talking, she would have told me. She didn't do that. She waited until I hit her up, so I needed something from her, and then she told me. People that are messy don't do that. People that are messy will just, to involve someone else, they're just gonna hit you up like, girl, I got something to tell you, and that's what people that are messy do. You understand what I'm saying? But this girl was not messy at all. At all. So anyway, that was a thing. And now like Bob is like going off on her. He's talking about her on his social media, and I just find that funny, because I was like, this is what to be honest, again, I'm definitely for the girls that's for the girls. But how you gonna deal with a nigga and he had no problem sleeping with you, doing this, doing that, but then the minute I find out, he just straight turns on you? Like, that just goes to show you that, like, baby girl, you need to grow up. Like, you need to grow up. You need to mature. You need to really put your ducks in a row, because there's no way that I'm gonna be sleeping with you and then you all of a sudden turn on me and start talking bad about me on your Instagram. First of all, it's giving sass. For real. Like, no real man would even do that. No real, even if he do got a problem with the girl, he's never gonna go on his Instagram and be like, blah, blah, blah. Like, when I tell y'all, he was singing on his Instagram, just talking super amounts of crap about this girl. And I was like, yeah. I said, but you talking about her, but you lay down with her. You understand what I'm saying? So, y'all one of the same. If you ask me. She low down, you low down. You greasy, she greasy. She even went as far as, like, trying to lie to me for him. Yeah. That's why she hit my phone. She was like, she hit my phone because he must have said something to her like, oh, you better call Miko and tell her, blah, blah, blah. And that's what she did. And I'm like, girl, get off my phone. You got nerve. I'm never doing that. Even if I did choose to sleep with a man and his girl found out, but I'm not getting on the phone to go, nigga, that's your problem. That's your issue. You have a sense of loyalty to her. I don't. So I'm not getting on here and speaking to anyone. Not that I would ever be in that position, because I don't never play number two. I'm sorry, baby. I never plays number two. I am the girl, the one and only. And if I'm not, I'm going. Like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I don't put myself in those type of situations. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm a girl's girl, and I don't do that. I don't do that. I respect, you know what I'm saying, a woman. Even if I got a friend and my homegirl was talking to a nigga and that wasn't even really like her dude like that, and then he come trying to talk to me, I'm not gonna talk to him. It's just, baby, I feel like that is just girl code. Like, I don't want no parts of it. I don't want to deal with it. It's just not, yeah, it's just not girl code. It's not. I have enough to give to be that a man would be happy to have me as his girl to represent him. You understand? Like, I never want to play second. I'm too big of a package to be playing number two to any female. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I need it all. I need the quality time. I need the gifts. I need the trips. I need the heart to heart. I need the, yeah, I need it all. I need our little therapy sessions when we going through something. I need it all. Like, I have no time to be waiting for a man to come to me after he finished dealing with his girl to then come give me attention. Like, I'm not waiting on no guy for that. After that incident, I definitely felt like the relationship was definitely different. It was definitely different, but I also was like, damn, I felt like I was in over my head, like, at this point, because now it's like I'm pregnant and I really ain't know what to do, honestly. I didn't know what to do. I was just like, damn, I'm pregnant. I really didn't want no ties to this dude. I didn't want to be connected to him. I didn't want to be connected to his family. I was just getting all sorts of emotions, and there was all type of thoughts that was running through my mind. It was a lot of things that was happening at that moment where I was just like, yeah, this is definitely not gonna work. Like, I started to feel like I definitely was not seeing a future with Bob. I don't know if y'all have ever been in a relationship with a man and, like, you know, things were going great. You know, this person's supposed to be like your best friend. And then, like, one day you just get up and you blink and it was just like, whatever you thought of this person was definitely, that's not who they are. Yeah. That's how I was starting to feel at this point. I was starting to feel like the things that he would try to do to me were very, like, intentional. Like, he would purposely try to hurt me. Like, that's what it seemed like. Because I'm like, I couldn't understand for the life of me, why would you sleep with the hair braider? Like, it's like I said, there's 1,000,001 women in this world. Like, you could sleep with any one of them. You chose to sleep with the hair braider. Like, so you were that confident that it wouldn't get back to me, that I wouldn't figure that out. You thought that I was never gonna know that you was sleeping with her. Really? I remember there was one time, right, when Bob and I was getting back together. I remember I had told y'all in, like, I think it was like part 3 that we decided we was gonna get back together after he had came from Arizona. So I remember going over to Bob's house, well, her house really. Bob had some money over there and it was like a lot of money. And he was like, oh, can you go over there and make sure that everything is cool with the money? So I was like, all right, cool. So I went over there. I went into his room where he was like staying at. It wasn't like his actual room, but I guess it was like a place where he had been staying or whatever. Like when he come into town, like his stuff would be in there. So I went there, I took out the money, and the money looked like it had been tampered with. You know how like street dudes be rubber banding their money, whatever, and it be in a rubber band. It was like kind of like messy. And me knowing Bob, like when I see him wrap up his money, I had never seen his money looking like messy like that. Like it looked like when somebody like takes like a couple dollars and they pull it out, and then it still got some that's like kind of like flicked up, but the rest is like down, but it's like caught up in between the rubber band. Like that's how it was, like one of them, like one of the bundles of money. So when I had got back to the room, I was like, oh listen, I was like, I don't want to be held responsible, whatever. When I came, this is what it looked like. And he was just like, oh, my mother must have went in there and took money out. And I'm like, I just want to tell you because I don't ever want it to be a confusion or whatever. And he was like, no. He was like, yeah, I know it was her. She always be taking my money and this and that. So that was one of the things that I noticed that was just like real weird. Like you just going in there and you just taking his money, like you're weird. Yeah, because I feel like at her big age, why wouldn't you just ask your son for money? Like what would be the point that you would go into the room and take the money and just like, I don't know, and just take it without asking? Like that's like, you're like a thief. Like that's what that is. That's thievery. Like I don't know why she would do that. But anyway, that's between us. So then before we actually was moving, Bob would have me stay with him at his mom's house. Like, of course, like I was living somewhere else. I could have easily stayed where I was living at. Like it was not a problem. Like I did not need to stay at Bob's house. But Bob wanted me to stay with him. We wasn't living together. Remember I had told y'all we had broke up and we hadn't been together for like 8 months. So clearly I was already living somewhere else. Bob was like, you know, no, I want you to stay with me, whatever. So I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I'm gonna stay with him. And I'm thinking because we've been together for years, like, it wouldn't really be a problem to his mother. But still in all, like, it's not my job to update your mother. Like, that's your mother. Like, you need to tell your mother, like, all right, Miko gonna stay with me until, we actually move because we planning on getting a new place, whatever. So like she's gonna be here with me. That's not for me to tell your mother. So I remember we was there and one day the mother came and was like tripping. Like she was tripping like, oh, you moved her into my house. Now y'all, let me tell y'all something. This lady, right, was so fucking weird. Like she was weird and delusional as fuck. Like let me tell y'all something. Something was really wrong with her mentally. I came over to Bob's house, right? I never came to Bob's house with no clothes. No clothes, okay? So the fact that she would even say I moved in was crazy, right? Because I never came to her house with no clothes. I came to their house with the clothes that I had on my back. That's what I came with. So now, as I'm there and Bob doesn't want me to leave, I'm accumulating clothes because I'm buying clothes every day that I'm over there, right? So in that house, that woman, that was another thing too. His mother used to have like foster kids or whatever. So she had a bunch of foster kids running in and out that house. In and out, in and out, in and out. I'm talking about boys, girls, like in and out that house. So there was a hamper, I remember. They had like a shoe in it, a Hennessy bottle, and some other miscellaneous things. Now, if y'all got brains like I got brains, right? Why would I go to this woman's house and come to her house with a full-on hamper? Okay? Hamper. A full hamper. It got one shoe in it, an empty Hennessy bottle, and a lot of miscellaneous things. Like, it was giving crackhead. Like, it definitely was giving crackhead. Like, girl, what? Like, why would I bring this to your house? To do what? To do what? So she was like saying like, oh, how Bob moved me in there and he didn't let her know, and how dare I bring this stuff in her house and blah 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 blah. I'm like, babes, you need to slow down. Like, you need to slow down, because that comes from whatever the little foster kids you had here. That's who had that here. For one, why would I bring an empty Hennessy bottle to your house? First of all, I don't even drink Hennessy. Like, I stopped drinking Hennessy from when I was like a young girl. Like, who drinks Hennessy these days? Like, who? Like, everybody drinks like tequila. Nobody drinks that. And this was around like, yeah, like 2020, like 2019, the ending of 2019. I remember because it was around like November almost going into December. Yeah, or maybe it was a little earlier. Maybe it was like October, like a October, November. Yeah, because I remember like it was like his daughter's birthday. So yeah, it was around that time. It was around like early November. So I'm like, why would I bring this to y'all? It don't make no sense. She was like, yeah. She was like, but I think that was her little storyline to go tell her little family members like I needed to live up in her house. Baby girl, I don't need to live in your house. Like, are you insane? Live in your house to do what? First of all, it's cold in your house. You ain't never got no heat on. It smells like gas. Every time you go to your house, your clothes be smelling like gas, like you got a leak. Girl, I'm confused. Like, I'm confused to why you would even think that I would even bring that to your house. First of all, I'm not walking around with a hamper. I don't think anyone would walk around with a hamper, one shoe, an empty Hennessy bottle, and a lot of miscellaneous things. And then the shoe was not my style, baby. I like stilettos, okay? This was like some big, like, stinking clog or something. Like, it was just not my vibe. It was not me. So clearly this is not my stuff. I felt like she was pissed off that Bob had me there and she didn't like me. You know, on top of that, I think the main reason was because she knew that Bob had money. So in her mind, she didn't want me there because she didn't want me to be getting, like, for him to be spending his money on me. Like, I think that's what she felt like. Like, she was like, oh yeah, she here, he's spending all his money on her and blah, blah. I think all his family used to think that. Meanwhile, I don't know what money they used to be thinking that he's spending on me, because if your son is spending money on me, then I should be in a house. For as many years that I have dedicated to your son, I should be in a house, babes, okay? For as many years I dedicated to your son, I should have a fucking car, babes, okay? So I don't understand, like, you know, things that are like substantial. Yeah. Not like bags and shoes and stuff. Like, that's nothing. That's literally nothing. Like, I can get that on my own. So it's just like, your son didn't really do anything for me. He didn't do anything that changed my life. You understand what I'm saying? To where, like, I can say, like, oh, like, the one thing I could say is that he did this for me, or he taught me this, or no, he never did anything like that. Because I have no problem saying it. Like, if I'm with a dude and, you know, he's done things for me that is just like, I have no reason to not give him that. Like, I don't, yeah, I would never do that. But as far as like her son goes, it's like, what did your son do for me? But put me in debt. That's all he did. But run up rent somewhere and not paid it. When I tell y'all, Bob owed like $180,000 at this one place where we live. He ain't never pay rent. Never. But outside in the street, oh, he looking like that nigga to people. They like, oh yeah, he take care of his. He do the, no he don't. No he don't. He don't do shit. No he don't. No he don't. He don't take care of me. I don't know where that came from. I don't know. I believe he's probably telling people that. But at the end of the day, are you still taking care of me? Because we not together and we haven't been together. So are you still taking care of me? Like, are you sending me money? You are not. Are you paying for your child? Are you taking care of your child? You are not. And I don't even know where the motherfucker is at to even take him for child support. So that's another thing too. Like, it's just like, but in the back of her mind, she's thinking that her son is doing something for me. And I'm just like, mommy, are you trying to be with your son? Why are you worried about him spending money on me? Again, we've been together for years. I'm not a new girlfriend. I'm not like some new girl on the scene that we just been together for like a couple months. Like, I've been with him for years. So why are you worried about where his money goes? Yeah, like, I don't know. I felt like they felt like when I was with their son, that like he upgraded my life. I'm like, baby, I don't know how y'all think that, because he can't even upgrade his own life. So it's very hard for me to believe that y'all really think this. But okay, whatever. So yeah, she comes out with this little thing, with this little hamper, little plastic hamper. First of all, I don't even buy plastic hampers. Okay, baby, that's not my vibe. That's not my aesthetic. Okay, I buy things that look aesthetically pleasing to the eye. Like, not that this was like some cheap as plastic Target hamper or something, like something that you would buy for a kid that's like $9 or something. Like, yeah, no. I remember Bob had left me there one day, and she came into the room and she was like, oh, where's Bob, whatever. So I'm like, oh, I don't know, he went out, whatever, he told me to wait here for him and he's gonna be back or whatever. So she was like, you know, like, she had like this little attitude or whatever. When Bob came back, Bob and her got into like a huge argument, and I don't know if it was because the fact that she thought that I brought that hamper into her house or whatever. And I had to have a conversation with her, like, yeah, that's not mine. I've never brought that into your house. I had called Bob and I was like, yo, what's up with your mom, whatever, And he's like, wow, what happened? I'm like, she came in here talking about some stuff or whatever, like saying that I brought this stuff into her house or whatever. And I'm like, girl, what are you talking about? Like, why would I bring this into your house? And I'm like, yeah, I do have clothes here, but these are the clothes here that I've been accumulating since I've been here because I haven't been back home. So I was literally buying clothes. Like I was buying like little sweatpants, little hoodies and stuff like that. Like nothing too crazy, but I had a little bag of clothes. I had one little bag of clothes. All that stuff was brand new. I had accumulated it while I was there. I didn't bring any of that stuff from my house. I told Bob like what she had said, and you know, Bob ain't like it. So when Bob came back, her and Bob got into like an argument. Baby, when I tell you, this woman, like I see where Bob get that cuckoo for Cocoa Puff shit from. Because this woman came upstairs and took all her son's stuff and threw it through the window out into the backyard. Like, get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm sitting on the bed. Like, as I'm talking to y'all, that's how I'm sitting on the bed. And I'm just looking at her like. And baby, she is fired up. When I say she is just like, get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. Get all your shit out. Blah, 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 blah. And she looks at me. She's like, oh, I'm not going to throw your stuff. I'm like, I know you not. I'm like, I know you not, child, you don't want to do that. So I was just like, but it was just very odd to me that she would even do that with her own child stuff. It was like, why wouldn't you just tell this person that they have to leave? Like, why would you be so disrespectful to the point where you're literally taking his stuff and throwing it through the window? Like, that's what I'm saying. It's like the level of disrespect. Like, I just see where Bob gets his little antics from, because he definitely be acting sassy like her. Like, he be doing sassy shit like his mom. So I was just like, ooh, baby, this is messy. This is not my type of vibe. So anyway, I pick my stuff up. I walk down the steps. I go downstairs, whatever, because they live in a house. So I go downstairs and I go to the car and I put my stuff in the back of the car or whatever, in the trunk. So she's like, yeah, and if you stay with him, if you be with him, you not gonna be blessed. So I looked at her, I said, excuse me? She was like, yeah, if you stay with him, you not gonna be blessed. I said, baby, you are not God. You can't tell me, I'm blessed every day, all day, forever blessed. Like, you're not God. You can't tell me, like, I'm not gonna be blessed. Like, who are you? But now thinking back, let me tell y'all, that woman got some different shit with her. And we gonna jump into that like a little bit later, like more down in these episodes. I'm gonna start to tell y'all about, you know, what transpired, how I feel like narcissism is demonic, a lot of things. We gonna chat, but that's the end of this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Be sure to subscribe and turn your notifications on, and don't forget to like and share this video. Bye.